I used to be homeless. I used to sleep in alleys. In the wintertime, I was sleeping on church stairs. I shoplifted from stores so that I could have something to eat that day. I was declined day after day from shelters on a waiting list because I didn't have a child, so I wasn't priority. I didn't have warm clothes, and living in New Jersey, it was so cold, it was snowing outside, and I was literally wrapped in a blanket, sleeping in the snow. Many nights I thought I wasn't gonna wake up the next morning.
Yes, woman says she has no sympathy for people mad Trump is taking away welfare and food stamps, but you are an able-bodied adult and not working. It is actually strange to her. When I watched that video, I went to the comment section to actually see what people are saying. It was amazing. A lot of people were impressed. But this Hollywood freaks, they will never be. I understand this actor actually went on stage the other day, like you saw at the beginning of this video. This triggered a lot of people on X. Hollywood actor Michael verbally disrespected Donald Trump on the red carpet. He's an idiot. He's a total idiot. He's not my president. I will never call him the president of the United States. Insane. For about 1 week now, I've talked about these Hollywood people, how I usually don't like to talk about them. I posted a video a few hours ago.
Positive surprise out of all this?
No.
Maybe he will turn good?
No, he's an idiot. He's a total idiot. He's not my president. I will never call him the president of the United States. I will never say that.
I used to be homeless. I used to sleep in alleys. In the wintertime, I was sleeping on church stairs. I shoplifted from stores so that I could have something to eat that day. I was declined day after day from shelters on a waiting list because I didn't have a child, so I wasn't priority. I didn't have warm clothes, and living in New Jersey, it was so cold, it was snowing outside, and I was literally wrapped in a blanket, sleeping in the snow. Many nights I thought I wasn't gonna wake up the next morning, but I still got up the next day and I hustled and I went to the library. I picked up change off the ground so that I could be able to print out resumes and make me a resume. I went to the welfare office when I got my food stamps. They used to have a program where they would help you find a job, so that way you don't have to stay on government assistance. I don't know what's required of it now because I haven't had food stamps in many years. But at the time, that's what the requirement was. You had to try to get a job. I took advantage of every resource that I could find. I sat down with the welfare caseworker and I begged her to help me find anything that could help me get out of my situation. She sent me to work centers that would help with building my resume, and they would sit down and help me with interview skills. And every day I went to an interview. I spent my days sitting at the library and going to interviews. I started off with a few shitty jobs, worked my way up in those jobs, built my resume, and then started getting better jobs for myself. The point of me telling you all of this is because I'm so fucking sick of people getting on the internet and talking about how desperately they need Medicaid and food stamps while they are able-bodied adults who can get up and get it for themselves.
Yo, she literally just summed up the video. I don't even think it's any more that we need to see, but I'm definitely going to get to the rest of the video. The fact of the matter is this. I hear so many excuses from people, and this is not just in regards to welfare, food stamps, government assistance, and all of that, because I truly believe that most people, overwhelmingly most people, are running in the Victim Olympics. But I also hear a lot of people use the excuse and say, well, you so far removed or whatever. You don't know people's stories. You don't know her story. You don't know my story. I could relate to what she's saying, not as much as like being homeless and all of that stuff, but when the 2008 crisis happened and everything crashed out, and I was right here smack dab in the middle of Detroit, and it was the hardest hit place in the United States of America. I spent the majority of my days in the library studying, going back to school and hustling and grinding. And so when people make the excuse and say, oh, it's just because you so far removed, or you doing okay, or you middle class, or you rich, or you that, they're making excuses why they are too lazy to get off their butts and go and hustle and go and get a bag.
He's right. What she said on this video is everything. Within the space of 7 days, These kind of videos are surfacing on social media. Liberals putting out clips complaining how they are unable to do this, do that. Oh, Trump is removing this. This actually encourage people to work. You are strong. Like I watched the other day, a lady was complaining, "Oh, I have 5 children with different parents. Now I'm unable to do this. Why would you even take up a decision? Thinking you would depend on the government throughout your life. Now, look at the situation. Everything they want to blame on Trump. When you take a look at Rosie here, Rosie is now blaming President Trump for the flash flooding that claimed the lives of many innocent girls at Camp Mystic in Texas. Crazy, right?
And what a horror story in Texas. The flash floods in Texas, the Guadalupe River. 51 missing, 51 dead, more missing. Children at a camp. And when the president guts all of the early warning systems and the weathering forecast abilities of the government, these are the results that we're going to start to see on a daily basis because he's put this country in so much danger by his horrible, horrible decisions and this ridiculously immoral bill that he just signed into law. As Republicans cheered, people will, as a result, and they've started already. Shame on him. Shame on every GOP sycophant who's listening and following the disastrous decisions of this mentally incapacitated POTUS.
Yes, this lady is not in the United States. She went out because of Trump. But when you look it clearly, she is still suffering from high TDS. It is really high. She went out. Oh, switch on the TV. Oh, I can't even watch the news again. I don't want to see. But every single day, it is to do this. Oh, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this. She's not even getting tired. It's boring at a certain point. If you love what I'm doing here, subscribe. Please share the video and if possible, check if your notification is on. I posted this few hours ago. If you never saw that, take a look at this.
Charlize Theron. There's something going on there. She's adopted 2 children. I believe they're 2 children of color. Are they 2 black kids? They're American. And one of them, she says, is trans. It's a boy who she claims is a girl.
We're moving backwards fast. Immigration policy is destroying the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day. And trans lives are increasingly being erased. And gender-based violence is on the rise.
Podcaster who interviewed Kamala Harris all about how much they love abortions. And this is Charlize Theron trying to sound like super cool girl. And I'm going to let you decide for yourself whether that's what she accomplished in SOT 26.
Do you have any?
Yes, I have said this over and over on this channel. These Hollywood people are insane. This lady said something that triggered a lot of people on the internet. Hollywood actress Charlize Theron, 49, brags about having a one-night stand with a 26-year-old. I watched that video. I was like,
themselves in this situation.
We have never seen pictures of her being pregnant, things like that. I don't want to go into that. I'm just quoting what I've seen people reacting to.
People line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like,
why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
Why marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like
she's seriously depressed about how hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail. It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He had
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything, and then the
Registration Act is
talking about
term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to...
I stopped responding to their comments because I recognize a lot of them are moving off of